That's how we travel at Llandegfedd, boys. Right, we're all set up, ready to go, and that is the all-in, I think. Is it? Is that it, Tone? Oh. Oh, I thought that was the all-in then. So, we've drawn another end peg. Apparently a really, really good area here. So, I've clipped up a 48 metres from my long line. The gusts are quite strong, so I'm just going to start there. If I need to, I can peel out another and go to like 50, but they're saying you won't need to go past 50, so 48 metres is a nice chuck. I've got a bit of bait mixed up here. I've got some sweet marine, some green supreme in there as well, and I've got some casters, some whizzed up corn, and an odd maggot, so I'm going to probably put like eight feederfuls, big bait ups out to start on that. I'm going to put a couple of cages in. I got a 30-metre line because if those bream are about, apparently they're catching like loads of like nice roach and perch. That's what they're saying. So I'm going to feed that if we need it, but I'm hoping we might have a chance of a few bream here today. That would be absolutely epic if we can catch a few of them. Some hybrids and some roach and perch, but they're saying you might need £60 to win here today. You know, I'm not expecting that. I'm just, if I catch a few, I'll be really chuffed. If I catch one bream, I'll be chuffed. So we'll see what happens. We'll set this up. We'll set our short line up. We're going to start long, and then we'll see where we go from there. But and I'll just keep topping our short line up every sort of half hour. I'll keep an eye on the time. Give it like 2 bait ups there short. Try and keep some fish in the area. We may even catch an odd trout today. Apparently there's some big rainbows in here. This was at one time an epic trout water, so unfortunately those days are kind of died off, but they're still stocking it. The British record pike was even caught from this place at 40 odd pound at one time. So it's got potential for some proper fish. So we've got a minute or two before the in. I'm just going to wait patiently here. Try my best. Get my baiting up absolutely bang on. I'm going to open a few up on the surface, try and get a bit of a cloud and let a few go down. So let's just wait for this all in, and hopefully we'll have a really nice day today. There's potential here to catch a good weight and some nice bream, some big hybrids, so I'd absolutely love that. Let's go. Right, oh boy. Right, that's one baited up. Let's put a couple in on the shorter line. But I want to put quite a few casters in on the short line as well, if there's a few perch about. So. Just keeping an eye on what everybody else is baiting up wise, like how many feeders they're putting in. I've put 8 in, but I'm hoping, but they all seem to be stopping. I think we've all done a pretty similar, to be honest. Just empty them. It's got a good depth. I got a 5 count at 30 metres and an 8 count at 48. So we've got a nice depth of water there at least. Put 2 in, jammed full of casters as well. And I'll open this one up quite quick so they just sort of go down and spread around over a bit of an area. Let it go down for 2 seconds and strike them out. Hopefully we won't be picking this rod up today. If we don't end up on this, that means we're going to have it on a right good day. So. Done. Baiting up, Romeo done. Let's have a check out in our long line. See if we can nick an early fish or two. Apparently if you catch quite early, chances are you're going to have a good day. I don't know what to start on. A lot of the boys here use like a 4.5 foot tail. But I'm just going to start with a 3 foot tail. I'm going to go 3 maggots to start with. I've got a caged window on. And I'm just going to fill it full of that mix that we fed to start with. And then we can go from there then, like slop it up or more particle, we can do whatever we want to do then. So let's send one out. You know, this is going to be a lot different to the match we had on Llandegfedd. Oh, there's a trout. This is like a bit more of a patience game, waiting for, you know, we're catching better quality fish. There'll be no micro perch. Everything is decent in here, sort of 5 ounces plus. Obviously the bream are 3 to 6 pound, the hybrids 12 ounce to 3 pound. Roach up to £1, perch up to £4 odd, so not saying that we're going to catch any of them, but we'll see. And I'm going to have quite regular casts to start with. Just try and keep a bit of a column of bait. I'll switch between a cage and a window. I've got some worms, but I don't know if we're going to need them to start, so I'm just going to sit there now. Trap is set. I reckon we'll have 3-minute casts to start for the first sort of 10 casts or so. Apparently the bites off bream are like method feeder bites on you, they just absolutely rip it in, so that will be a bit different to last week as well. Oh, just had a little bang then. Just had a sign, second check. Oh, yeah. There we go. Are we in? No, missed that. Definitely a bite though. That's a good sign, that is, boys. That is a seriously good sign. Now, what was that, I wonder? What was that? Small fish, I think, but that is a really encouraging sign. Second chuck in to get a bite like that. Don't think it was one of them big fish, but it's a start. Let's get straight back in there. Oh. Oh, we're in. We going. Ha! Now what's that? Could be anything in here. Feels half decent, whatever it is. Oh, it's just come off. Ah, no way. What's happened there, boys? Look, it's just pulled out of it. The dreaded maggot has gone over the hook, look. Why's that happened then? That's not a good start, is it? Oh, it's annoying. How incredibly annoying that is. Feels like a half decent fish, that too. Try again then. How incredibly annoying. Quick bite though. Right, we're an hour in. And I had a couple of missed bites early doors, lost that fish, and then I caught a small perch, like 4 ounce, and I've had like 6 chucks since then and not had an indication. I've seen, I think, 2 proper fish caught from pegs 5 and 6. Like I've seen them net a fish and then tip them into their keep now with their land in it, so that sort of says to me that they were proper fish. I'm not sure what, but they look decent. So I've been setting up this shorter line. I'm just going to have a quick go in on that. I've fed it twice now with a a bait up, 2 cages full of casters and ground bait on it. I'm just going to fish a little cage, 2.5 foot tail. I'm just going to a little bit of dry ground bit through a cage to start, just to see if we can get a few bites here. Like we've had a good hour of chucking on that long line now, plus the bait up. So there should be a good bit of bait out there. Just if an odd bream does turn up there, there'll be something to hold it. But I just want to... Oh, there's a bite straight away then. But I just want to try and get some fish in it. Now, that went straight away then. Little rattle. Because they have been catching like 20 odd pound of like roach and perch on the short line on here. No, it's only them 2 people I've seen catch really. There's just been an odd little fish caught apart from that. So let's see if we can get a little run of roach or perch or something on this line. Start with a cage, try and cloud it up a bit. See, look at that little rattling. Nothing there. Missing some bites today, you know. Start with a cage, try and cloud it up, get some fish in the peg, and then what we'll do, we'll maybe put a window on and put some casters in or stodge it up or wet it up. But let's just start like this. But a good response, bites straight away. Sometimes those bream just don't feed, or they might feed later. But I'll keep an eye on the time and I can still, if I need to, put a few bait ups in long. Oh, there we go. We're in. Just about to mix up a little bit of slot then. It's a great bite. Don't know what it is. It doesn't feel like a tiny fish. What we got? Oh, look at that roach. Oh, is it hybrid, is it? Oh, yes. Hybrid. That's made my day, that. Look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, sir. On the short line, look. Tell you what, if we get a run at them going, that is an absolute thing of beauty, that, isn't it? We've just mixed up a little bit of slop there then. Now that came with just dry ground bit through the feeder, so let's try that again. Oh, that's nice, that is. Oh. That is absolutely mega. Hybrids. Great bite. Let's just tighten up on this. Like that. And the time. Isn't it funny how, like, just chucking by there now and got a hybrid straight away, and all them chucks long. Never got a fish really out there. And what I can do, I can have a little chuck with a medium cage window as well. Put that little bit of slop in there. Can like pack it full of casters and then just cap it off with some slop. So that's there, that's an option as well. But I don't think it's going to be a £60 day that we're talking about. But it's still early on this, on like these kind of venues, that what you don't want to do is give up. Because if they're not there on you instantly, doesn't mean that they're not going to come later on. I was speaking to Tony Birch earlier on before the start, and he was over on the point opposite, and he went 3 hours without a fish and then ended up weighing £93. So they can turn up at any time, but it might be a case today, like I've 4 or 5 chucks on this, when I think, right, I'm not going to get a bite. 2 or 3 chucks on that long line, and just keep bouncing back and forth, like how I should have fished that match on Dolagare last week. You're not coming here looking to fish for £60, just catch what you can, fish tidy, and then, you know, as they come into your peg, you can catch them rather than just going all guns blazing early doors. But even on this, like, now we've had a bite. Just about to say, we had a few bites long early doors, and then stopped getting bites, chucked it on here, missed a bite, caught one, and I was just about to say, bites are gone again, but that's just absolutely mullered off the rest that time. I think that's another decent fish. Yeah, that could be a hybrid again, that. Oh yeah, he's bedding in like an Alabama tick. Hybrid. Oh, lovely. Only just hooked too. A little bit smaller than the first one, but we don't mind that. He was bedding in like an Alabama tick on us, that one. Now that was when I just put a pinch of casters through the feeder and an odd dead red. So we'll try that again. So just a little pinch of casters, a little pinch of those deads. I'm seeing that was like a 3.5 minute bite. So we'll probably have 5 minute chucks on this line now. Maybe we just want to be a little bit more patient. Perhaps be a bit more patient on our longer line as well. Bites are lovely off this hybrid, just absolutely rattling off, which is good. Over an hour and a half in. Caught them 2 hybrids on that 30 metre line. Was that a feed that I just done? No, nice. Oh, yeah, I caught those 2 hybrids on that visit on the short line. Then I had 4 chucks long, never had a sign. Dropped back in 30 metres, missed a bite immediately. Next drop in, caught a nice hybrid. Then I had another chuck, didn't have a sign. Chucked in again. Tip's gone off the rest, exactly the same as those hybrid bites. Come back all smashed maggots. And I just chucked in again, I caught a trout. So I just topped that up with 2 bait ups, with casters and ground bait. And I'm going to go back on this long line. I can't understand why I can't get a bite long. It's fishing tough. I think I've seen Tony Birds had a hybrid 2 down, and then I've seen 2 other decent net fish caught, and that's about your lot, to be honest. So, but it's very early days, very early days. I'm just chucking a cage now, long, same as what I'm sort of doing on the shorter line. But I just cannot understand why this long line won't go around. It feels like every time, well, I say that I've only had 2 visits short, but the 2 visits I've had short has been first and second chucks I've had a fish. But I was hoping like this would be the same, like a chuck out there, maybe have 4 chucks, catch a fish, come back short, maybe catch 1 or 2, and keep doing that. But every time I go on this, just don't get a bite. So I'll have 3 chucks on this now, 3 5-minute chucks. All the bites seem to be like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes of those hybrids. But just in case there's a bream out there, I'll have 3 5-minute chucks. If I don't catch a fish or get a sign, I'll give it like 2 or 3 bait ups. And I'll drop back short again. Hopefully there'll be a hybrid there waiting for a short. But this section's fishing tough. I can't really see what's happening on the other bank. You can't really tell if anybody's catching anything. It really just looks like they're sat there, but just hard to see. But still, like I say, very early days. You know, just over an hour and a half in. Anything can happen on here. Like last 2 hours, you know, getting a rival was bream. It's a different story. So. But at least we're catching an odd hybrid short, which is really encouraging because nobody else seems to be catching them. Indication then, just a slow little. Nope. There we go. So it's a bite. it's a big fish though. But it's a bite long, which is encouraging. Don't know what that's going to be. Perchy roach, is it? Oop, it's just got a bit bigger. Oh, tiny little, what's that? What is it? Little hybrid, look. There we go. Baby hybrid. Encouraging. That is encouraging, boys. 2 dead reds. So like, at least now we can sort of bounce off 2 lines rather than just sort of sitting there with our head in our hands. But I feel like this cage is definitely better than that window. Nice blob of casters in the middle and then just capping it off with the ground bait, like that. That's 2 bites and 2 chucks out there now from not having a bite out there for ages. I think next door's got a hybrid as well. Is that a hybrid or one of them trout? No, trout again. He's had 3 or 4 trout next to me. You fishing that power bait? You on the power bait, you? There we go. There we go. That was a nice proper positive pull, that one. That was going to be my last cast on this. And I was going to give it 2 bait ups. So let's see what this is. Hoping it's a hybrid. Lovely, like, positive pull. It's not fighting a lot though. What is that? It's got to be a hybrid, hasn't it? Yeah. There we go, boys. Absolutely beautiful fish, aren't they? Look at them. So even though I've caught that there, I'm just going to give it 1 bait up and then I'm going to drop in short. Right, I've just chucked back in on my short line. Caught a perch first chuck. Missed a nice bite just now, like a slow bite, and I've just chucked it back in and it's absolutely ripped off the rest. Oh, it's come off. Oh my god, that was a proper fish, that was. What was that? What was that? All slime at my hook length, look. How was that come off there like that, man? What an absolute nightmare. That was a proper fish, that was. I think that might have been a bream, you know that. I'm pretty sure that was either a real big hybrid or a bream, that was. Oh, I can't believe that. Why is that just pulled off like that? That don't make sense, man. That's so annoying. That's about as annoying as it gets, that is. Just come off for no reason, like. Right, we are halfway through and we've had an absolute disaster losing that bream, unfortunately, but the show must go on. So I went back in after that bream, caught a chunky perch and then had a chuck, never had a sign, so I just gave it 2 of them full of ground bait and casters, and I'm going to go back now on our long line. We haven't been on this now for probably 20 minutes or so, and that just seems like if you can rest a line, you first chuck in, you get a bite, or first or second chuck, you normally get a fish. Whip that out. I feel like, I know we're on an end peg, but I feel like we're fishing it quite well. You know, not trying to catch fish that aren't there. We're just sort of ducking and diving at the minute. Trying to get an odd fish here and then. It's working. Like, we're picking an odd fish off each line. Not that we've caught loads. We've had 5 hybrids and an odd perch, but you know, you get that bream in and all of a sudden it's a different match. So for now, just going to keep doing what we're doing. Like, hoping I can go on here now. Maybe catch a hybrid, maybe 2 if I'm really lucky. And then back in on that short line. Because like, looking down the line, nobody's catching anything. So I think like there's like 3 people have got like a hybrid each. And we've got 5. So I don't feel like we need to really force it. You know, we've lost it, you know, whatever that was. I'm pretty sure that was a bream. It was like slow, ponderous, an odd head shake. Don't know why that came off there. It's strange, but off it came anyway. So let's see if we can get another opportunity here. But it's you know, if it was a bream, it's a good sign that, you know, now it's on my 30-metre line, so it's a good sign that they were on there. Oh, it's a great bite. Nothing there. How isn't that on? Like, I've had a few missed bites today, and I don't know. I feel like that, you know, that should have been on there. That. The problem is, when you miss that bite first chuck, it's like almost like you've lost the chance of a fish. Real savage, jagged bite that was. Let's put it back in. But that's what happens when you rest a line and you chuck back in on it. Like, you get a bite quite quick. I'm hoping now that we haven't wrecked our chance. The bait was untouched there. So I'm hoping we're going to get another opportunity here now. Could have been a perch perhaps, I don't know, but seemed like it should have been a hybrid, to be honest. But like I say, I'm the only one getting bites, which is good. Right, we've got an hour and a half to go now, and I had a couple more chucks on that long line, just nothing. So I put a bait up window on, and I give it like 5 bait ups out there. Drop back on this short, expecting a pull on my very first chuck in. Not a sign. I had 4 or 5 chucks that are a sign, and I was just about to come off it. I had a little indication, no bite, so I wound it in, chucked it in again. I caught like a nice roach, 10 ounce. Chucked it back in again, and you sort of sat there, and quite a steady pull, like nice positive pull, picked up nothing there. I think it was a liner. And I've chucked it in again, this chuck now, and it just hasn't moved again. So it just feels like it's all starting to grind out to nothing now. I think there's been a bream caught further down on peg 5. It looked like a bream. He was playing it like really gently. He got it, and it looked big in his net. I don't think it was a trout because he was playing it too gently for it to be a trout. So he might have a bream 4 or 5 pound. We've got 5 hybrids, 3 or 4 perch, and that one nice roach with hour and a half to go. So he's probably winning the section down there now with that bream and a few bits and pieces. But I just don't know why this sort of short line's gone on us, because this has been our banker and this visit has been our worst visit, even though we've caught 1 fish. But I expected to drop in here and catch a fish or 2, and it just hasn't happened. So we've got another 2 minutes on this chuck, and then I'm going to go long, rest this for like 15 minutes and then come back on it. I had a little go with the window on this, filling it full of casters, capping it off his slot, now nothing. And then on my 3rd chuck back on the cage, I actually caught a fish. So I feel like that's the way to catch them, just a pinch of casters, and just, you know, normally mixed ground bait in a cage seems best. But I still have got those worms in the back of my mind. I don't know whether to put them in or not, because if you do put them in, you can get mithered by trout. I don't know. It's just a job to know what to do with them in there. maybe I'll just chop a little bit up and just see what that does us. Might catch a few perch maybe and pull an odd hybrid in. I just don't know at the minute. Just don't know whether I'm coming or going here now. So I think I'm going to wind this one in and we'll have a chuck long again. Let's just see if anything sort of come over that long line, because even that long line last visit was really poor. I'll put this down for a second. Disappointing, because I thought we were just going to pick hybrids off through the day now and, you know, end up with a nice net of hybrids, but it's not what the doctor's ordered at the minute. So let's go out on this, see if we can get a pull on this. And then I'll make my mind up when we come back on that short line. If I don't get a fish within 2 chucks, I'll probably just chop a few worms up. Just see if we can get a response to win that. That wind's got up now, so that's got it nice. I want this rod rest go down. There we go. So we need a pull on this now, desperately. Just feels like those hybrids are just totally gone. And I don't, even though I thought I seen a fish or two caught on that far side, I've seen 2 people walking over there now. So I don't know what's going on.
Mike Williams, section winner again. I don't know where they. In LA. Said £10.
Huh?
Not far off, is it? Yeah, £11. 11.14.
Right, we have just weighed in £11 something, I'm not sure what. Tough day, but I really enjoyed that. That last gas bream was definitely nice. So we've won this bank, the North Shore. £6 was second. There were two £6 weights, but where we're going tomorrow, on the other side, over there, Ian Didcott apparently has had over £100 a bream. Rob Skell had 12 bream with 2 hours to go, and there's been a few others. So tomorrow might be our chance to catch a few bream. So section win first day, really pleased. Let's see what tomorrow brings.